Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. So today we're going to be doing a wintry design. I'm really excited actually to get into the winter sets because I love this time of year for nail art. So I'm starting it off a bit early, but never mind. So we're going to be using lavender and turquoise dusts from Tia's Beauty. They're absolutely beautiful holographic dusts. And then alongside those colours, we're going to be using French lavender and private island. I'm using private island under this one. And French lavender under the lavender, of course. So first of all, I'm going to do the base of these nails with the colours. We're going to be doing 2 lavender ones, 2 private island, and then 1 half and half. So I'm going to do that first. So I'm starting out with French lavender, and I'm going to place a coat of this on this nail, just 1 coat, because obviously this is going to be a full dust nail, so I don't need it to be like really full coverage underneath. It's literally just something for my dust to stick to. So I've just popped that on. I'm going to half cure that because Gel Perfection doesn't have a very tacky layer and I need it to be tacky. So I'm going to cure it for half the time, which will mean it's more tacky. Then once I've put this on, we can then put it back in the lamp for the rest of the cure. I'm going to be using my tubby brushes, as she says. I just need to grab one. I'm going to use a tubby brush from Tia's Beauty to apply the, what's it called, to apply them. And this is what the tubby brush looks like. It's perfect for this sort of thing. And as I said, you can get it from Tia's Beauty. I have 3 because every time I order from there, I seem to get one. Don't ask me why. So I'm just going to open up this and just dip my brush in and apply it straight onto the tacky layer. So obviously this is a bit more tacky than it would have been if I'd full cured it, but it's going to be tacky enough now for this to stick. If your gel polish does have a really thick, like a really sticky tacky layer, then you don't need to half cure and then cure again. You can just put it straight onto the tacky layer and that'll be fine. So that's that nail. Look how beautiful that is. My camera doesn't even want to focus on it, it's that shiny. But I'm just going to put that in the lamp now for 30 seconds. And while that one is in there, we're going to do the next nail, which is going to be the other colour with the other colour of dust on. So first of all, we need Private Island. It's a very messy design, just to pre-warn you, but you probably already knew that as soon as I mentioned using dusts. But it's still well worth it because dusts are just beautiful. So I'm just popping that on there. There is a little hair in there, but I'm not even going to try and attempt to get it out because it's going to wind me up. So I'm just going to half cure that again for another 30 seconds. And once I've done that, I've dusted off as much of the glitter that I've just used as I can from my brush. And then I'm just going to go in with the turquoise one instead. Make sure that it's covering the whole nail. And just dusting off any excess, and then I'm going to pop this back in the lamp for 30 seconds. These dusts are just beautiful. So I'm going to cure up for another 30 seconds. This one is now done. All I'm going to be doing with these ones that are full coverage, just glitter, they're just going to be top coated with normal diamond gloss top coat, so there's nothing exciting there. So we're going to do that last, and then next we're going to be doing another one like we've just done, but it's going to be half and half of the both colours. So we're going to do the top half with French lavender, and the bottom half with the turquoise. I've just knocked it over by accident. Well, obviously the actual colour I'm using isn't really that turquoise, but you know what I mean. So I'm just taking that up to the lavender colour, painting the bottom before I touch the lavender just so I don't bring it down onto the rest of the nail. I'm just going to go across the middle to just sort of blend them. I'm not interested in getting like a perfect blend, but I'm just going across the middle to blend them a little bit, wiping off any excess from my brush, and then just making sure it's nice and smooth. It'll be the dust itself that makes the blend, so don't really worry too much about it at this point. And then just make sure you haven't got any really thick areas. And then once I've done that, I'm going to pop that into the lamp. I'm just making sure that my brush is clean before putting it back into the bottle. I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds again. Here is the turquoise dust. It's beautiful. So there's the dusts. they're a design in themselves. Like, you don't even need to do anything because look at them. I'm just waiting for my camera to finally decide to focus. It's obviously not going to. There we go. They're just beautiful. So that's those two. They just need a quick top coat, which I will do off camera at some point. And then we need both of them this time because we're going to put obviously the turquoise on top of the blue and then the lavender on top of the lavender bit. You're not really going to get like the perfect blend with this. It's just one of those things, like, just get it as good as you can basically. So I'm just going to first of all do the top bit, and then with any excess I'm just dragging it down. And once I've done that, I'm going to wipe off my brush, get as much of the purple one off it as I can, and then going into the turquoise one and dragging that up. And I just made sure that when I got to the middle there wasn't much of each of the colours on my brush. And then you can go back in with the colours after to top up anywhere that's not greatly covered. And it's just a super easy blend really. And then I'm just going to dust over, make sure there's no excess chilling on there. And then I'm going to pop it back in for another 30 seconds. And that's the blend one done as well. So next up, I'm going to be using both the colours. We're going to do one nail of Private Island and then one nail of French Lavender. So I'm going to quickly just do that. So next I'm just going to matte top coat because the next step after this is going to be some foil stamping. Well, I'm not actually going to be using foil for it, but I'm going to be using the foil gel. So it just means that I need a nice matte base. So I'm just making sure that it's nice and smooth. I'm not going to have any like rippling or anything. I must admit I'm not really a fan of matte top coat as such. I usually use velvet, but I need to stop using velvet for videos because I use velvet on my clients, whereas I don't use matte. So I'm trying to get used to using matte for videos. I'm just going to let that sit for a second so it's nice and smooth. And I'm going to do the same for the lavender nail, because I don't want my next step to be like sticking to the whole nail. I want it just on certain areas. I am going to be doing a glossy design, like at the end it's going to be all glossy, but for now I need them to be matte for a second. So I'm just doing that, making sure it's all nice and even. There's not too much on the nails, it's not going to bubble, which I must admit I do find very difficult with matte top coats. Velvet I usually get on really well with, but matte not so much. So I'm going to pop those in the lamp for a full cure of 60 seconds. I'm going to give them a quick buff and then we're going to come back and move on to the next step of the design. Now that they're both matte, I'm just going to get a white block and just buff over them both just to make sure that there really is like no areas that are at all any way sticky. Just to really make sure that it's nice and matte. Try and do it without flinging it across the room. Okay, so I've buffed the surface a little bit and I've also wiped over with some isopropyl alcohol just to make sure that they're nice and clean. So the next step, we're going to do some stamping. I'm just going to get some kitchen roll for this step. I've also top coated the other three nails now. They look absolutely beautiful. This is the turquoise hollow one. This is the ombre one. Beautiful. And this is the lavender one. That is just lavender on its own. Stunning. So we've got those three ready to complete the design when these are done. So both of these, we're going to be doing the same thing on them. We're going to be doing some stamping with this gel. You would have seen it on my channel before if you've watched majority of my videos. So it's a foil stamping gel from Moira. I'm just going to give it a quick roll between my hands. And then I'm going to be using this plate here, which is a Born Pretty Christmas plate. It's absolutely brilliant. I love this plate. We're going to be using these snowflakes. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp. I'm just going to get a cotton pad. And I'm going to clean my plate with some acetone. So first of all, I'm just going to get my first snowflake. I'm going to be doing them one at a time. I'm just going to take off the excess. The best thing about the foil gel stamper, like stamping product, is that you can take as long as you need because obviously it's gel, so it's not going to set or cure or anything until you put it in the lamp, which is good. So we're then going to just place this on the nail. I'm just thinking about where I'm going to have them. So I'm probably going to have three. So I'm going to put this one up here. placed that. So this is what it looks like. And then just going to pop it in the lamp just for 30 seconds. I'm going to do one at a time because if I obviously stamped on the same nail that's already got a wet gel, so if I placed one here and then did a stamp down here and accidentally touched that one, we'd end up with a big mashup of stamping gel all over the place. So I'm going to do them one at a time. So I'm also going to do the blue one next. So again, popping some product on there, wipe off the excess, scoop it up. Make sure there's none on the stamper that we don't want because that will transfer to the nail. And then we're going to do it the opposite way round this time to the last one. So we're doing it on the top right this time. Placed that. Again, make sure there isn't any on there you don't want. If there is, I like to use these little lipstick applicators to clean up. Let me just move this so it's not blinding you. So I just get a little bit on there, wipe off anywhere that I didn't want it, and then I can pop that in the lamp. So that's going in for 30 seconds whilst this one's just come out. So on this one, we're going to be using the turquoise one, and then on the other one, we'll use the lavender, just so it's the opposite way round. And I'm going to use my brush again from Tia's Beauty, this cute little one, tubby brush. And we're just going to place that on top of the black. Now I'm sort of just like pushing it in. I'm not like rubbing or anything, I'm just pushing it in at this point. And then I'm going to pop that in the lamp for another 30 seconds because it's a 60-second cure product. And I'm doing that before I take off the excess. So again, pushing it in. Now I'm using the holographic dust for this because they're really, really fine. Glitter wouldn't really work because it's too thick and it just wouldn't stick to that really, really tiny bit of foil gel. You can also sprinkle this on top while it's completely wet and then put it in the lamp if that makes you feel any better. I'll do that on the next one just so you can see that there is different options. And then obviously this can go in the lamp for 30 seconds. The other one is just finished. So now I'm just going to get a fluffy brush just to brush off any excess, and then that's when you will reveal your glittery snowflake. The hollow in it is absolutely beautiful. It's lovely for this sort of design. I'm just going to use this to take off any excess where I don't want it. You can also use a nail art brush for this, but I love these little applicators, they're perfect. And then again, just dust off any excess, make sure there's none lying around, because then we're going to go in with the next snowflake. I'm not going to do both the nails on camera because obviously I'm doing the exact same thing for both, so I'll just stick to this one. I'll do the other one off camera and you'll see it at the end when it's done. So I'm just going to I'm just going to brush off any excess, brighten the screen a little bit. And then I'm also going to use my lint roller to get off any excess from my stamper. And then we can go in again, get off the excess, stamper to pick it up, get any off the stamper that we don't need again. And then we can place this where we want the next snowflake to be. I don't think it's going to focus, which is very annoying. There we go. So I'm going about here with this one. Okay, and then again, I'm going to pop that into the lamp for the, oh no, I'm not, sorry, I lied, I forgot, I said I'd do a different way this time, didn't I? I've just realised that I've put the wrong colour, what's it on this one. So what I'm actually going to do is on both, I'm going to do a mixture of the two colours. That's what I've decided. So on this one, I'm then going to use the lavender. Just because I can't be bothered to do that other one again, I'm too lazy for that. So with this one instead, I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to just pop this underneath as close as I can get it, and we're just going to tip this on top basically. This is another way you can do it. I like using the tacky layer just because it's a little bit less messy, but it's totally up to you which way you'd rather do it. I'm just going to get off the excess by just tapping the nail, and then we'll put that in the lamp for the full cure, and then I'm going to do the other one off camera. So back to this one, we can then remove the excess. I'm just going to brush that off, make sure it's nice and clean. And then as you can see, this one's also got a holographic sheen to it. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm just going to do the last snowflake on here now, and then this nail is finished. So here's the 2 nails finished. I decided to put a few extra snowflakes on them, as you can see, and then I've just basically just done random turquoise ones and lavender ones on both of them. I really love how these turned out, actually. They're really, really cute. So all I need to do now is just top coat those 2, then we'll see the true beauty of them when they're nice and shiny. I'm just going to cover this up because there's so much dust everywhere. So I'm just going to top coat them now. I'm just going to top coat one on camera because obviously they're going to look the same and you'll see them at the end in the after shots. But I'm really happy with how these turned out, actually. I'm just going to make sure there really is no excess, brushing off as much as I can. And then I will go in with my diamond gloss top coat. Obviously you can use any top coat that you choose. This one is actually a little bit contaminated, so there will be little specks of things on the nails, which is annoying, but I don't want to use a brand new one for this, so I'd rather just have those little specks. It's not a problem. So that is that one. Absolutely beautiful. I love how they turned out. And then I'm going to top coat the other one off camera, and then we can have a look how they look all together. So here is the finished design. They're a bit like more glittery than they're supposed to be, but that's just because it's on my fingers and I keep touching them. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Thank you so much for watching, as always. I hope you like them as much as I do. I love how they turned out. And yeah, I'll be back soon with another video. Thank you so much. Bye.